What's up, everybody? Brainiac. Apparently, that's going to be the villain. Kind of thought it was in Man of Tomorrow. And some of the actors being played to play Brainiac have been revealed. Disney Plus is doing some generated AI shorts. What's that going to do for the business? There is also, speaking of AI, Michael Caine, Matthew McConaughey have signed on to get their voice created for AI for commercial use down the line. Is that the first step? A lot of different people. Speaking of former Dark Knight stars, well, the Dark Knight director, Christopher Nolan, his new one, the Odyssey, that's coming out today too. So it's a solo show today. I'll explain in a second. Let's get into it, everybody. Here's our show. You ready? Cool. Me too. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Kristian Harloff Show here today on this Friday. Normally, this is Capes and Cowls, but what was supposed to happen today was that one of our loyal viewers for years, Mr. Ed Harrell, he had said, hey, Jen Sturger going to be in town. And I said, hey, I haven't heard of her yet. And Ed must have tweeted her. She texted me. I texted her. I said, look, you're going to be in New York? She's like, yeah, you're going to be around. I'd like to do the show. I said, let's do it. I said, I'll move things around. And I did that. Problem was, she's got a show tonight. And from where she is to where I am, every way was like, no matter what form of transportation, was like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get here. And then she would not have enough time to get to her show tonight. So we tried to make it work a few different ways. And it was like a last minute thing where otherwise I would have just had Chris and Winston back on, but I also didn't want to jerk them around and say, hey, I just kidding. Can you guys do the show now? So solo show happens today. So we have some stories. We'll discuss it. And that's going on. Jen will be in my neck of the woods, I think, in spring. So we're going to try to make that happen. Okay. That's what I got. And let's get into some topics because we do have quite a few. All right. So the first one, and this, there's two really on this Brainiac story, because we thought in general that Brainiac was going to be the villain. At least that's what everybody was kind of thinking it was going to be. So no capes. I already talked about this yesterday. You got to watch the show, guys. Come on. No capes today. I made the announcement twice, I say. Brainiac flag set for Man of Tomorrow. Brainiac has been confirmed as the villain of James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow, according to new report of The Wrap. Since the announcement of the film, the character has long been suspected as the potential antagonist of the film that sees David Corenswet's Superman and Lex Luthor's forging a temporary alliance to take on a greater threat. Gunn teased the possibility when he posted the front page of Man of Tomorrow screenplay with an image of a human skull with an exposed brain on the cover. That's when everybody started kind of thinking about it. Character has not been depicted in live action films, but has appeared in numerous TV settings, including Superman the Animated Series, Smallville, Krypton, and Harley Quinn, along with games like Injustice 2, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Frank Grillo also confirmed to the reporter that his character of Rick Flag Sr. is a big part of the sequel story. Production of the film is set to kick off in Atlanta in April, ahead of a release of July 2027. The Jimmy Olsen-led TV spinoff will be shooting around the same time in Atlanta, with Nexus Point News indicating that Skylar Gisondo, Wendell Pierce, Beck Bennett, Michaela Hoover, and Christopher McDonald will all reprise their Superman roles for that show. So that's a lot of news. No, not Odyssey trailers, Odyssey images today. I love slippers. So there's a lot of news there with this, because the villain itself, we kind of thought that. We knew that they were going to form an alliance, Lex and Superman, so there had to be a bigger threat in order for them to do that. And we haven't seen this villain yet. I think that's exciting. We haven't seen this villain in live action, so I think this is exciting. I think there's a way to really make this happen. The other thing that makes me wonder is, you see that cast in of the Jimmy Olsen show, and one, if they're shooting at the same time, then if that is indeed happening, then you probably are going to line up some of the stuff from the movie leading into whatever those events are, leading into our show, and hopefully that the popularity of Man of Tomorrow warrants a Jimmy show. I guess that's kind of what they're hoping for. The cast that's heavily involved there. It's the Daily Planet. Look, I like Beck Bennett. I do. I think he was funny on Saturday Night Live. His character was worthless in that movie and was kind of out of place when he was just kind of getting thrown around the ship and crying and screaming and stuff. And maybe that was just to throw him into like, oh, you remember him? Well, he's gonna have a much bigger role, obviously, in the show itself. But what kind of tone are we gonna have? But Brainiac, I think it makes a lot of sense. Question is, who's gonna play Brainiac? That's the other one. Who's gonna play Brainiac? We already know who our Lex is. We know who our Superman is. Who is gonna wind up playing this villain? Well, there's some names being thrown out there already. And interesting names. Man of Tomorrow, some of the actors being eyed to play Brainiac have been revealed. So let's see. This is from Comic Book Movie and our buddy Josh Wilding, who writes, yesterday evening, the trades confirmed that we're going to revealing Brainiac as the main villain in DC Studios' Superman Man of Tomorrow. James Gunn already teased the villain when he shared a first look at the movie script. And at this point, anyone else would have just disappointed fans. I don't know about that, but I think people were hoping to get him. Now, though, we have word on who James Gunn is meeting to potentially play Brainiac. Grace Randolph was the first to share the news that David Hyde Pierce from Frasier, Wallace Shawn from Young Sheldon, and Claes Bang from Dracula were all possibly in the mix. It's an interesting list. Since then, Nexus Point News has revealed, I can confirm I heard Claes Bang also. I don't know Claes Bang. Who is that? Let me see. I know. I'm not good with names. Where is he from? This looks somewhat familiar. What's he from? He's from William Tell, Dracula. Oh, that's what they said. Northman. All right. I don't remember him as much. I like the Northman, so I wonder who he is there. Okay, and then but it's a handful of others who are going to be tested as undecided. Bang is a talented actor who has played some despicable characters throughout his career. However, this continues an interesting trend in the DCU of Gunn looking at actors to play these heroes and villains who aren't on the A-list. Is it a cost-cutting measure, or is DC Studios co-CEO simply seeking the right for people for the job and relying on the characters themselves to sell tickets? Both could be true. We'll see what happens, but Gunn testing actors is likely how the Wrap managed to confirm that Brainiac is the big bad of tomorrow, Man of Tomorrow. Hopefully, this means we can expect official casting before end of the year. That's interesting. That is interesting. I'm on board with here. I guess the same thing that I said last time, right? When you cast actors that don't have a huge price tag on them, but they're really good actors, it elevates your project. But then it's like, why do you, if you saved money, why are you spending more money to make a bigger movie you didn't need to make? But maybe they lower the cost a little bit this time around. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Usually sequels are more expensive than the original. But I think that this makes sense to cast this particular way, especially heavy makeup and those things. I like all of those actors. I'm not as familiar with the Dracula guy, but the other ones I really enjoy very much so. And I'm sure if he was in the other guy was in Northman, probably was phenomenal in that. I loved everybody in that movie. So I just have to remember who the hell he was. But I like where they're going with this. Is high quality acting? Sure. Give me a good intimidating one. What's as I say every single video, what's our tone? But I dig it. I like where they're going with it. The question is, do you guys like where they're going with it? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. What about Brainiac? Care? Do you not care? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. I got more stuff to talk about, more things to discuss. But before we do, let's get right into it. I'll tell you guys more about Raycon and ButcherBox. My wife just texted me today. She said, we just got a whole shipment from ButcherBox. It's like we're going over all these meals and things too. So we're very excited. So ButcherBox and Raycon, and then we'll be right back. I'll tell you, it's already Christmas time for me. I had word that ButcherBox was back, baby. Oh, I love ButcherBox. So good, because I know there's a lot of people out there, when you look at your freezer, it looks like a crime scene of forgotten leftovers. Mine was the same way too, man. ButcherBox, the way that I'm eating, the way I've been telling you guys I've been eating, they got responsibly sourced proteins and they ship them right to your door. There's no mystery meat. There's no sketchy sourcing, just better options at your fingertips. If you're serious about fueling your body with the best, you got to look no further, man. ButcherBox, it's got clean, high quality protein without the junk. I Love them. ButcherBox delivers over 100 premium protein choices, and they come straight to your door. It includes 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Sign me up. Nearly a decade, ButcherBox has led the industry with meat and seafood that's antibiotic-free. For me right now, look, I love seafood, but for me, I'm just on a chicken and beef kick right now. And they got it, and it's so good. I love throwing it on the grill, but you don't have to do that. It's really great. You're going to love it. Every box it ships free always and includes member-only perks. It's got recipe inspirations, got tips and exclusive deals. You make the most out of it. So as an exclusive offer, our listeners are going to get free protein in every box for a year. Plus, you're going to get $20 off your first box, but you have to go to butcherbox.com/Kristian. If you go to butcherbox.com/Kristian, you get a limited time offer and free shipping always. Butcherbox.com/Kristian. You have to use our link. That way they know that we sent you, and they say, hey, this guy wasn't lying. He does love us, and his listeners love him too. All right, today's show, it's sponsored by Raycon. I go everywhere with these. Look, customized. They got a New York logo on them too. I go everywhere with these because it's Raycon's anniversary right now, and what a better way to celebrate them than a deal with these everyday earbud classics. They're 20% off, which is great. And it is the perfect time to get your hand on these. They're reliable, they're super comfy, and easy to take anywhere. You'll see why they've become a fan favorite since day one. The everyday earbuds classics, they're loaded with upgrades. They got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity. You can pair with two devices at once. And it's an ergonomic fit that actually stays put no matter what you're doing. I love these things. I wear them everywhere. The gym, if I'm in the city, I'm on the train, I'm again doing laundry. I'm listening with these. They customize this one. I got a Yankee logo. You can do. They have different colors. You can choose a whole bunch of them. You see that there. 3 million customers already love Raycon. I told Ming about them. He got them immediately, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. You're going to know you're happy with them within an hour. So if you don't love them, returns are easy. You have nothing to lose. So I promise you that when you get these, you're going. Ming did it immediately. He said, "Oh my God, I love these things. They're so great. They're great." So you're going to get these. You're going to love these. I had Ming wrote them immediately. These things are awesome. I said, "Yeah, they're amazing." You go to buyraycon.com/Kristian. You'll get 20% off the everyday earbuds classic. You will. You're going to say, "Hey, you're right. These are amazing. I love Raycon." Sign up for them today. I promise they're great. I think I told you guys the other day, I was literally at the dentist and put them in. They're the best. I really don't go anywhere without Raycon, and I'm so excited about ButcherBox here today. So I hope you guys are taking advantage of it. Links in the description for some pretty good damn deals. Good damn deals, man. Okay. Let's get, this is what, there's probably going to be a really short show today. So I've got a couple more topics and then currently 2 questions. We got to beat Steph at 81, I think. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen, which is totally cool. We'll be a shorter day. Work on some other stuff, which is awesome. If you guys want to stay on longer, we'll stay on longer. If not, I want to really discuss these stories with you because I think there's some pretty cool ones out there to go over. I'm looking forward to Odyssey. Really excited about Odyssey. It's probably right now, I would say, I mean, I haven't made my list, but I wouldn't be surprised if it lands as the #1 movie for my most anticipated. There's some new photos, which probably means that there's going to be a trailer coming out really, really soon. I would assume, if not tomorrow. I hope it doesn't come out tomorrow. Probably going to come out by Monday or Tuesday, I would assume. It's usually what happens when the trailer comes, when a poster comes out, and it's usually the next day. New artwork and photos have been released from Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. The new material release is a part of a big preview issue of Empire magazine. Matt Damon tells the magazine that I can say without hyperbole that this is the best experience of my career. It says Nolan won't shy away from the mythological aspects. That's cool. If you're going to have an existential crisis as you pass the sirens and you're lashed to a mast, then it's there. If you're running for your life from a cyclops, you're going to run for your life. Chris doesn't hide the ball. That's cool, man. I want to see him do a movie like this. Nolan is not an obsessively meticulous planner, it seems, and so is able to wing it when needed. Damon saying, "We were shooting that Trojan horse stuff next week." So I go, "How are you going to do it?" And Nolan goes, "I don't know. We'll just get in there and we'll figure it out." I love that. I love that. I mean, because well, there are certain, we'll talk about it in a second. Nolan says that the whole thing is a foundational work that is pretty primal, and stated his main goal was to do something not really being done right now. As a filmmaker, you're going for gaps in cinematic culture, things that haven't been done before. And what I saw is that all of this great mythological cinematic work that I had grown up with, Ray Harrison movies and other things, I had never seen that done with sort of weight and credibility that an A budget and big Hollywood IMAX production could do. Nolan says that they shot over 2 million feet of film across the 91-day shoot, with much of that out of the ocean where the Odysseus sets sail. We got the cast who play the crew of the Odysseus ship out there on the real waves in the real places. And yeah, it's vast, it's terrifying, it's wonderful, it's benevolent, and the conditions shift. We really wanted to capture how hard those journeys would have been for people and the leap of faith that was being made in unmapped, uncharted world. By embracing the physicality of the real world in the making of the film, you do inform the telling of the story in an interesting way because you're confronted on a daily basis by the world pushing back at you. Film takes the story of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and his perilous journey from after the Trojan War, exploring the theme of heroism, loyalty, cunning, and the struggle against divine will. It also includes iconic episodes like his encounters with the Cyclops, Prometheus, the Sirens, and the witch goddess Circe, culminating in his reunion with his wife Penelope. I'm just going to read this cast because it's insane. Tom Holland, Anna Hathaway, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, Benny Safdie, Elliot Page, John Leguizamo, Hamish Patel, Bill Irwin, John Bernthal, Mia Goth, and Corey Hawkins co-star. It's coming out on July 17th. Here's that image again. I'm so pumped for this movie, man. Now I think that what's fair though is that sometimes you could say if you heard that about a director, I don't know, we'll just figure it out. You're like, uh-oh. But like Nolan, you're like, yeah, okay. What are you gonna do? I'm excited. You want to wing it? I'll wing it with you. It also shows that cast. I mean, when I saw some interview the other day, and I guess that movie that Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence are doing together, and Pattinson goes, "Well, what director, is there any director you wouldn't say no to?" And she's like, "Yeah, but he's never asked me." So she's Nolan. And they kind of played a little bit because, this is, I think, Pattinson's second movie with Nolan. And so he's like, yeah, it's nice. And they had a cool banter about it, but it just kind of cemented what I've always said is that he's the guy everybody wants to work with right now. And the way that Scorsese was kind of the guy everybody wanted to work with back in the day, that if an actor who costs, $15 million, they're like, you can be in this movie and Christopher Nolan wants you in the movie, but you've got to do it for $2 or $3 million, or we just can't have you in it. That person's going to say, yeah, I'll do it. It's just, that's the power that Nolan has at the moment because everybody wants to work with him. And he's just making different kind of movies right now. And I like that he's going in this direction with this particular movie. It's one of those things where you want to see your favorite directors do different stuff. And so and especially now, because I just on this big kick with Nolan that Sam had never even seen a Nolan movie before. And we just watched pretty much his entire library, which you can watch on the channel if you haven't seen it. But just watching all those movies and watching the different stuff that he does, from Memento to Dark Knight to Insomnia to Inception, Prestige, Dunkirk, Tenet, and then Oppenheimer. It's like all those movies and just so many different, minus the Dark Knight trilogy, obviously, which is all the same kind of genre, but that's a whole bunch of, that's a comic book movie franchise, and he made it so different and he put his stamp on it. It's kind of where he really said, well, check me out. Well, they ain't got a load of me. And we did. So now that he's going here, and I like that he's not straying away from the fantastic side of things. So yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty pumped that we're gonna see this movie in less than a year. I can't wait. That trailer probably is gonna hit, I would say, sometime next week. I bet you because they're gonna want to run it before Wicked. I would assume, right? Because they're both Universal, aren't they? So I would assume that that's going to drop right beforehand. It makes sense. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. So the image itself is just, him. It's got a Troy feel to it, but I'm sure it'll be better than Troy, which I am probably one of those few people who like Troy. It's not a great movie, but I like it. I think there's a lot of great things about it. So we'll see. But anyway, what do you think about these images? What do you think about this movie in general? What do you think about Nolan's comments or Damon's comments about working with Nolan? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. All right, we're gonna move over, and there's like these two kind of, I guess, related kind of AI stories. The first one that I saw, and this is a conversation. It's always going to be, you know, it's going to kind of be the same conversation with people who are just against it, and there's going to be other people who are going to just go with the times because it's going to happen. But Disney looks like they're starting to, I don't know, bend the knee to AI. Maybe, maybe not. Take a look at this one and see what you think. Disney Plus is going to now include user-generated AI shorts. So, what's that mean? Disney has now announced during the company's fourth quarter and full year 2025 earnings conference call that its Disney Plus service is about to get a massive overhaul. Bob Iger says that the streamer is in the midst of rolling out the biggest and most significant changes from a productive perspective, from a technology perspective, since we launched the service in 2019. Changes are vast, starting with the inclusion of games, or at least a number of game-like features on Disney Plus as part of the studio's agreement with Epic Games. The major development that has already sparked discussion is the introduction of generative AI short-form content created by users on the Disney Plus in the future. What does that mean, though? The other thing that we're excited about is that AI is going to give us the ability to provide users of Disney Plus with a much more engaged experience, including the ability for them to create user-generated content and to consume user-generated content, mostly short form, from others. Iger also indicated the studio has had productive conversations with unnamed AI companies, and he hoped they could get an agreement that would reflect our need to protect the IP. I know what's going on here. As for the streamer's performance, the most recent quarter saw it adding 3.8 million subscribers. Disney also announced its plan to invest $1 billion more in content next year than it did this year. All right, so I know exactly what this means. At least I'm pretty 99% sure. They're trying to get ahead of the ball, and they're also, if you can't beat them, join them type thing. And so you look at Sora, right? So Sora now, if you go to Sora 2 and you go, you can't. If you try to go in and say, make me you might be able to, but you probably get hit with a content thing. Make me a Jedi, and I'm fighting against Anakin Skywalker during Order 66. Right now, you'd get hit with a copyright thing, and you wouldn't be able to do it. But I assume what Disney's saying is, hey, you join our thing, and you join, and you want to, we'll give you access to these IPs. You want to be an X-Men? You can fight alongside Wolverine if you want to. You can make a Wolverine short. It's, instead of doing it on a different platform, we have a deal with this company. You can do it on our platform. You got to be on our platform in order to do it. I think that's kind of what it sounds like. You guys tell me in the comments if that sounds possible, because then it's like, okay, then you look at all these user things like, well, look at what Sora is doing. Look at what because Instagram now is just filled with Sora videos. So it seems like that's kind of what they're going to do and where they're going to go with that, because they're like, well, instead of somebody else using our IP, let's let our users do it, and then they sign up. So if we have, okay, you want to fight against Thanos, sure, you can do it. Just join our platform, and you got access to it. You can do certain things, and then once we start developing our technology, you'll be able to do more. They're joining in on they're trying to get ahead of it. It sounds like they're getting ahead of what is already happening, as opposed to like if you look at it like Napster, where Napster was, everybody was fighting against it and trying to get all the music off, and then keep fighting. And Metallica was doing the big protests against it, and eventually, yeah, sure, Napster went under and gets sued, but it changed the business, and now everybody just streams music. So, for a long time, this platform was streaming people's music and doing these things, and people were fighting against it. Disney is saying, well, no, you know what? We'll get people an opportunity to do it for us. We own all these different IPs. all these different things. There's certain things you'll be able to do, certain things you won't be able to do, but you'll be able to do it. I wonder. I wonder if you're able to, like, like how long it'll be from, like, yeah, you can do. He said it'll be shorts, because that's what made me start thinking about this, because I think like Sora 2, you can only do like it's like 10 seconds or something, whatever it might be. Maybe they make it longer, maybe not, but that would get people signing up. I mean, there's tons of people who don't want anything to do with it, but there's other people who be like, oh, that's cool. I can do X-Men stuff, I can do Marvel stuff, I can do Star Wars stuff, I can do I can make myself part of the Beauty and the Beast. I can do this, I can do that. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. So I wonder. It's an interesting topic, because they're not going to be the last company to do that. Because if they do that, then you guarantee then whenever Warner Brothers, if it gets sold or if it doesn't get sold, they're going to start doing the same thing. That's the next. In the same way, what did they all do with the streaming side of it? When Netflix proved it was popular, well, we want to do that too. We didn't think about it first, but we want to do that too. And then everybody did it. And then everybody was doing it. It's going to be the same shit. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that's am I completely wrong in how I'm looking at this? Maybe it's something completely different. It seems like that's what they're trying to do, because like the Sword 2 launched like what, a month ago, 2 months ago, and it's already developing. What's that freaking app going to look like in a year from now? And then, because they said unnamed AI companies, they're probably dealing with the same ones. Say, hey, look, we can't beat you, but we figured let's get a deal. Instead of people using you can't let them use our IP on your app, but we'll pay you to run it on our side to where they can use our IP. So we'll see how that works. It's not a question of whether or not you think that they should or shouldn't, because there's a lot of people who are like, they shouldn't be doing this. We know that opinion, and I happen to share a lot of it. But the question right now is more so, is that what they're going to do, and who's going to follow suit? That's more the question, I guess, on that one. So put your thoughts in there. Let me know. We are almost at 15,000 subscribers on the Clips channel, guys. Almost there. It's pretty great. That channel's the little channel that could. And it's for people who can't get the live stream every day and they just want to kind of catch up on some of the stories. That's what it's there for. So make sure we check that out. I'm considering trying to put a couple more of those clips through, maybe some of the questions that come in, but we haven't really talked about that yet. Currently crushing it at 6 questions. Amazing. So we're trying to get to just around another 75. So like I said, probably a short show today, but we still have a couple more topics to discuss. Let's get into now, as we mentioned beforehand, we mentioned Christopher Nolan, and one of his movies that he was famous for is The Dark Knight. Well, one of those actors is Michael Caine. Mike was here to do the voice right now. But what did he do? Well, we're going back into AI, guys. Michael Caine has signed a deal to have his voice recreated by AI for commercial use. Now, that's the same thing that James Earl Jones did, if I'm not mistaken. And Matthew McConaughey is another one who did it too. It's been announced that legendary actor Michael Caine has signed a deal with 11 Labs to recreate his voice using AI for commercial use. Now, when it comes to classic Hollywood actors, Michael Caine is among some of the most celebrated. Having acted since the 50s, the actor has enjoyed a fruitful career. While having had a long filmography prior to his involvement in the franchise, Caine burst into the pop culture scene in a big way when he co-starred in Batman Begins as Alfred Pennyworth. Caine then returned as Batman's partner and confidant in The Dark Knight before reprising the role one last time in The Dark Knight Rises. His powerful acting style, undeniable charisma, and distinctive voice, Caine has built a legacy in Hollywood that is matched only by a select few. Now, the actor has announced he has partnered with the AI company 11 Labs, founded by Peter Dabowski and Mari Staniszewski, to clone his voice for future projects. Caine's voice will be part of 11 Labs' iconic voice marketplace, which will house the voices of multiple actors and celebrities, both alive and deceased, for commercial use. In a statement, Caine explained his reasoning regarding the deal, stating he wished to help people craft their own stories. Further said the company was not aiming to replace voices, but instead to amplify them. Oh, God, I wish Mike was here. For years, I've let my voice do stories that move people, tales of courage, of wit, of human spirit. Now I'm helping others with find theirs. With 11 Labs, we can preserve and share voices, not just mine, but anyone's. 11 Labs is the very forefront of technology, using innovation not to replace humanity, but to celebrate it. 11 Labs gives everyone tools to be heard. It's not about replacing voices, it's about amplifying them, opening doors for new storytellers everywhere. Spend a lifetime telling stories. 11 Labs will help the next generation tell theirs. As explained by Deadline, to use any of the voices available in the voice marketplace, users will have to submit a request, after which 11 Labs will match them with the right holders of the actors they wish to employ. A deal is made between the user and the rights holder. Once an agreement is in place, the company delivers the voice requested. Per the trade, Caine's voice will also be available on the 11 Reader app to narrate books, articles, and PDFs. As mentioned, other high-profile actors have also partnered with them, which is based in New York City. Liza Minnelli, Matthew McConaughey. Per Variety, the latter is an investor in the company and has been partnered since 2022. The actor is using 11 Labs technology to create a Spanish dubbing in his voice of newsletters, lyrics of living. Below is the name of other names that are in their marketplace: Rock Hudson, Judy Garland, Art Garfunkel, John Wayne, Mark Twain, Alan Turing, Betty Page, Robert Oppenheimer, interesting, Burt Reynolds. Using the likeness and voices of deceased actors have been part of a contention in the industry, entertainment industry. However, Michael Caine, McConaughey, and Minnelli partnering, this is going to become more complex. It really is kind of the same conversation that we just had. I do wish that we could discuss this with Rocha today, because it's kind of the same thing, right? I think that this is where I just said where Disney was trying to get ahead of it. I think a lot of these actors are trying to get ahead of it too. They're trying to, like, if Michael Caine's like, look, if I can continue to work and my grandchildren and my children and other people can still make money off of my likeness and my voice when I'm long gone, then go for it. If people are going to still want to see me and want me to be in movies and hear my voice and narrate stuff, and my people are getting paid for it, and Rocha is going to be mad at me. If it was me, I'd do it. If I knew that my kids, if I was like, people want to hear your stupid voice telling stupid fart jokes, and that's what she said jokes on reactions, but you got to sign off and they'll do it. You can do it for the end of time, and your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids will benefit, and they'll get the money for it, but they have to approve what you're going to be in. I'd be like, okay, yeah, they're going to be protected. They're going to make money from it. I'm going to be able to put a little bit more in their account so they can eat. I get it. I do think that there's a lot of that inside of why he's probably doing it. And I think that you can, as long as they're respecting it and doing it the right way. And I love the fact you got to get approval for it, of what it is. And it's like, okay, look, well, if we want him to do this, we're working on this story where he would navigate this through this, and we would have this character and do that. And like, okay, we'll sign off on that, as opposed to something really ridiculous. We're not, no, I don't care how much you're paying us. We're not going to hurt his legacy by that. This is the thing that is going to start to show up more and more people are going to start signing on to it. And it is the same conversation that I've had a million times over, is that the generation today, this one, Gen X, Gen Z, millennials, they're all going to be debating it. Maybe Gen Z, not as much. Oh, no, what do you, Gen Z, what's the other one? Gen Alpha, whatever the hell they are now. That's the generation that's probably going to run forward, and there's going to be less people arguing about should we, shouldn't we, because it's going to be already part of the norm. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just telling you how it's going to go. We're all going to be in this balance. There's going to be so many people here. No, we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it. Rocha's going to tweet about it and say, you shouldn't do it. You're making it worse. And it's going to get, eventually it's going to get here. Again, no right or wrong behind it, probably more wrong behind it, but it's going to be here. And that's just how it's going to be the norm, where I've said this a long time ago, where there's going to be another Die Hard movie with young Bruce Willis. If they sign off for him, if his voice is signed off and his likeness is signed off, you're going to see another Die Hard movie or something along those lines with him in it. That's going to be, and I don't know when that story is going to happen, but the story will be eventually. We're going to cover it on this show eventually. The first movie AI generated with so and so, Bruce Willis, whoever, is done. And these actors signed off to it. This happened. This composer signed off to it. This signed off to it. This, and this. And it's going to happen. And it's going to be a major controversy. And people are going to be debating it and boycotting it. And other people are going to go, holy crap, this is going to change the industry in general. So, yeah, this is Michael Caine getting ahead of it. That's it. I think. And the other actors, there's going to be way more actors that start to do this. Right now, it's there are, in like any other topic or anything too, there are actors that want to do this, but are afraid of the pushback they will get if they do it. But Michael Caine might then say, well, Michael Caine's going to do it, then I'm going to do it. That will happen. There'll still be more people who are hesitant and don't want to do it. But it's eventually going to start happening more and more, especially when they know that their families and other people could be taken care of way past when they're going to be on this earth. So, I don't know. It's just going to be the same kind of repeating story, I think, in general. What do you guys make of it? What do you think? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. What are your thoughts on all of this? All right, here's how this is going to work. I am going to tell you guys real quick about our friends over at Cash App, and then I'm going to do your questions. You want to keep us on? Do it. If not, we have a short show today. We'll be back on Monday. I have a lot of stuff coming out over the weekend too that I'll discuss with you. But tell you about Cash App, and I'll be right back. I always love talking to you guys about Cash App, and you've been smart. You guys have been signing up. Really smart, because you don't want to fall for scams. It happens to everybody. You just feel, oh man, it happened to me one time. And I remember just going, and I actually left my house to head to a convenience store because they asked me to, and I realized halfway through, oh, what am I doing? And I fell for it. And people fall for this stuff all the time. So the good news about Cash App is when you get the card, not only do you get an access to a ton of perks and benefits like early access to nationwide concert pre-sales or discounts on popular brands, but you have an extra security with the power to instantly lock or unlock your card right from your phone in just one tap. So if something like really shady is going on and it pops up on the card, Cash App got your back, automatically declines the purchase, sends you, say, hey, listen, something's going on here. Is this you? So you can rest assured knowing that your account balance is protected 24/7 by fraud monitoring. Spend with peace of mind today. You got to order a Cash App card in the app, or you just go to cash.app/card. Now, for a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 off if they use the code SECURE10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, discounts and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure. Cash App. Thank you to Cash App. Now, you know what I did realize? I do have, I guess, bad news, depending on how much you're following the story. I have a source, another source. I probably should have said this, but I have a source. You know, they had those screenings of Masters of the Universe. So the good news and bad news. Good news is that a particular person thinks that it's probably going to play to a casual audience. But as a Masters fan, was not a big fan of it, and knew that I had thought that it was a Guardians of the Galaxy type feel. And when they broke my heart, they said, no, it's more like Love and Thunder. And I said, oh no. I said, it's more like Love and Thunder. It's got some goofy Saturday Night Live type stuff in there. And it plays goofy, and they really try to go to more of the cheesy 80s feel than the 2000 feel. And it wasn't finished all the way, but it's still the tone. So very, very disappointed by this. Very disappointed with this. It completely yesterday when I was talking about it, it was on my like anticipated list, like in the top 3. It's now plummeted because the person that told me, I respect their opinion on films very much, and is also a Masters fan, like a big Masters fan, said they are paying more homage to like the 80s kind of campy feel of it, but like the whole point is to get away from that, to get the essence of what that is, of what the actual story is. They should have went to the 2002. So I'm going with very low expectations now. Huge low expectations. Saturday Night Live, the second Love and Thunder, the second you want to get me off board, you say Love and Thunder. And that's exactly what this person did. So I'm not excited about it anymore, unfortunately. I want it to be. You guys, if you heard me yesterday, it was like I was like, "Ooh, let's go!" But that's not great. Anyway, okay, 11 questions. So we're gonna do these 11 questions, and then we'll call it a day today. Unless you got more than that right now, throw them in there if you want to keep us talking. If not, understood. We'll be back on Monday with myself and Roca. Hey, Mr. CJ keeps in Cal's rollout. Not today. Not today. Hey, Mr. CJ follows it up with I wish I knew. I wish I knew a lot of things, Mr. CJ, but I just don't know, unfortunately. Okay. Let's see. Next one after that. Thank you again to Hey, Mr. CJ, putting in our first 2, which I really appreciate very much so. Yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to discuss, talk about, let me know. Johnny Patriza, 20 years ago since Eddie Guerrero passed. That's pretty crazy. Were you a fan of his, Kristian? I respected him. I wouldn't say I was a fan, but I respected him. I respected very much so what he did in WCW. He started to have his major push and run when I was kind of out of wrestling at that point. He wasn't there. He wasn't there yet when I was there. So I respect him very much. I think he was a legend, but I wasn't a massive fan of his because I knew more from the WCW, and when he was really having his run, I wasn't really watching as much. So I probably would have been. Yeah. Armada, Kristian and Winston Fallout TV action will be fire. Maybe if we get to season 2, if I can get to finish season 1 before 2 comes out, maybe. There's a trailer apparently that dropped for it too. Little Yankee, getting ready for work. Have a great weekend, Kristian. Thank you, Little Yankee. Appreciate it. You have a great weekend too. Please, please, and thank you. Neeks, 2890. Hey, Kristian, thinking about Brainiac after Hot Mike, and I thought about Matthew Lillard. Great character actor, Gunn ties from Scooby-Doo. Much love. It looks like from the casting, if that is true, the ones that they're talking about, very different kind of, because Matt Lillard's a big dude. Matt Lillard is taller than me. I've interviewed him a few times, and like he's like, I think he's at least 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", and he's a big dude. So he'd be kind of intimidating as Brainiac's not supposed to be that big. So maybe not on that one. Acting wise, he could pull it off for sure. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that one, Neeks. Moving down the line here, guys. Darian, what's up, bud? The way you pronounce X-Men makes me chuckle. You make it sound like it's someone's last name. Hey, it's my old buddy, Frankie X-Men. That's right. What do you want to say? X-Men? Who cares? Hey, guys, you seen the X-Men? It's the X-Men. That's what they do. They're the X-Men. Hey, have you seen Lewis X-Men? Nah. Got fired last week. For what? Took a shit in coffee. Oh, son of a bitch. John Darius. Kristian, what's your thoughts on the feud between Disney and Google? A lot of movies I wanted to buy and rent are unfortunately no longer available. Will this hurt digital marketing or physical? Usually those deals come to a head and figure it out. I'm not as familiar with it, John. I don't really know what's going on. First of all, thank you for your generous donation. but I don't know enough about it. Now, as far as hurting digital market over physical, uh, I it's so hard to say because of the way things are just kind of ever evolving right now. And as I mentioned, things are evolving. I was wondering what's going on with that light. It's aimed the wrong way. Um, things are just evolving differently. And we just mentioned this whole thing with AI and other things too. I don't know if it's going to change it. I think Google and Disney will come to some kind of agreement. Go, pal. I just hope to be gone before Skynet takes over. I think all our consciousness will be planted into something else too. So you'll still be here. Sarah Khanna, real pissed watching everybody enthusiastically embrace AI, says Go, pal. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. She's trying to find Miles Dyson. Miles Dyson. Alex, do you ever see that movie, The Congress, with Robin Wright? No, one of the most prescient films maybe ever. It directly predicts the Caine story and more. No, I don't even know what that is. Is it pretty good? I think you've been suggesting some good ones lately, Alex. I don't know that one. Okay, Draw J. Any truth to the news about having multiple Doom variants in Doomsday? I've heard that. I don't know how true it is, but I've also heard that there's going to be multiple Doom variants. I just don't know. Princess Positive, you go green. You know what I mean? Great reaction. Thank you, Princess. I was proud of that line. I was proud of that line. Sam loved that one too. We watched Princess is talking about we released the Wicked reaction today. And I think that, once you go green, you know what I mean? Something like that. We're talking about the Prince. So 3 left, and then we're out of here, unless you guys want to keep us going. Go, pal. Masters Universe at least has the cast to maybe land an 80s style story. I'm hoping it'll be enjoyable. From what the person told me was that it looks like it's going to play to the casual audience, which in the long run might benefit it. Don't forget, as much as I think that Thor Love and Thunder is a piss box on wheels, it made a lot of money. It did very, very well. Now, granted, it was the 4th movie in a franchise. It is not done well over time. People seem to be pooping on it more now in general. But it still did very well, and maybe that tone is what they're trying to go for and thinking we can recapture that 80s kind of cheesiness feel that really responded and resonated with people. It was the 80s. I just, it's such a missed opportunity to go for the essence. I think that, again, 2002, they understood it. That animated series, they got it. They said, this is, no, the essence is there. That's what we got to do. That was the show. That was the best version of Masters of the Universe. But they ain't going to do that. They're going for the cheesy kind of commercial feel. And I'm telling you, the second I got so deflated when I read Love and Thunder. Poof, right on the floor. Horrible. Tommy Tattoo. Cool name. Is that Popeye? Looks like Popeye. How long do you think it will be before AI programs make it possible for single entity independent AI movie releases that rival big budget Hollywood? I think they have the capabilities to do it now. If you look again, whatever they're working on in the Source side of things, they probably have movies and full on movies and things too. They just working out kinks and other things. I don't think it's going to, I think you'll be within the next 2 years, you're going to start seeing it. You're going to start seeing movies, full on movies now, deals, and they're going to start making deals with studios. They're going to start making deals with independent companies and other things too. And once likeness starts getting signed over from actors who are like Michael Caine, look at Matthew McConaughey. He's what, in his mid 50s or whatever he is. He's going to be around for quite a long time. He keeps himself healthy, He doesn't have to sign up and do that stuff. If other actors start doing that, and they're like, hey, like let's say that AI is able to do something. Like, there are some people like a Tom Cruise that is always going to want to just jump off of things. But if like here, so I keep mentioning like Welcome to Derry, right? Which I really am enjoying. I really like the show a lot. The only thing I don't like about it is some of the stupid CGI that they use. It looks like Scorpion King CGI. It's so bad. It's so bad. And they continue to use it. Andy Muschietti loves the bad CGI. I just watched It Chapter 2. And I actually wound up liking It Chapter 2 better the second time around when I saw it. but there's still some like really crappy CGI. The guy loves crappy CGI, whether it was in The Flash, and then he loves crappy CGI. Now, to be fair, the third episode wasn't, he didn't direct it, but he still produced it. But my point is, let's say that if they start using AI and they're like, okay, you know what we can actually do? We're gonna have I don't know, Margot Robbie, we need her to jump from the top of this building onto that one here, and we're gonna have her like what Florence Pugh did or whatever when she jumped off the thing. And Mar's like, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to do it. But we need a real good shot of her face doing it. AI is gonna make her jump across that building, and you're not gonna know the difference. They just have to sign off to it, and I think it's gonna happen. I do. Hotel Nerd, baby carrots for Brainiac. He would be great as Brainiac, because the other thing people are saying, what it used to be like, and part of that conversation that used to be was like, yeah, but I can just tell right away if it's AI. I can tell, and a lot of the times that's still true. There are some times though, right now, there are certain things that they're doing now that look pretty damn like you can't tell the difference. You don't know if it is, and it's scary. It definitely is scary. There's no doubt about it. Go pal. David and Nick are both very tall, 6'3" to 5. So Lillard fit in. Yeah, no, it's not a matter of fitting in. No, not for Brainiac. No. It's not about fitting in. They're not fighting crime together. They're going up against each other, and the whole point of Brainiac is he's not physically, but it's his brain. It's his that. Yeah, I think that would be a mistake to have them on the same page, or the same height. Honestly. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see. Joe Hendo TV, looking forward to finally seeing Brainiac on film. A lot of people are, for sure. I mean, I think that's why they ultimately went with the two. Alex, the Congress is very unique. Highly recommend. I appreciate that. That's a very good recommendation. Draw J. Another movie reaction would be cool or funny would be the 80s movie Critters. Then do Critters 3 with Leonardo DiCaprio. Critters 1 might be something to explore. At first, when you said it, I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to care, but it might. I don't even know. I can't tell anymore. We were like, okay, Wicked will do pretty well because the movie's coming out. It's eating farts. So it's like, I don't know. And then I'll put Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind out, and that'll probably do great. In the movie that 6 people have watched. So I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I only know is I'm just going to do things that I want to watch. So maybe Critters will be one of those. John Darius, we're heading for the holiday season, and I'm finally excited for Avengers Doomsday. Hopefully it's a long enough look. What are you most excited to see overall? As far as Doomsday goes, what I hope we don't see is Downey's face. I hope we don't see his face at all in the trailer. I hope we just get him Doom being devastating. I hope we get a kind of an idea. Normally in the teasers that come out, you don't really get an idea of what it's about. I think that it is crucial to give you a little bit more story about what it's about, because we don't really know. Like a lot of times when you see a trailer or a teaser, we're like, oh, I know kind of the essence of what it's going to be about. We don't even know what the essence really is going to be, except Doom. I know that, again, the 3 Earths collide, that causes Battle World and all this shit goes down. But we got to see Doom as an actual threat and what it's got to, and give me the tone. Set the tone. That's what I'm excited to see. All right, look, it was a nice little show we had here today, and I enjoyed being here with you. It was nice. Again, sorry that Jen wasn't able to be here and we had to reschedule Capes and Cows, but we'll next week figure out a lot more to do. Hotel Nerd, Joe Hendry signed to WWE overnight. Thoughts? Did he really? So I'm going to be in the minority here. I think he's going to be popular. I think there's only so long that shtick with the song can work, though. They'll do the say his name stuff, and I get annoyed with all the clips that I see of it. I get annoyed with it, but I didn't watch TNA, so I can't tell if maybe it's different. People love the guy. People love him. He seems like a nice dude. I don't know. I just I have to see a little bit more. It's more than just the song. It was a good match that he had against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So I mean, he's very talented. So we shall see. Thanks for being here again, guys. Really appreciate the love, the nice thoughts. Probably gonna do. Oh, so what's going on this weekend? Speaking of Wicked 2, I'm going to see it tomorrow night. I'll have an out of the theater reaction for that. Tomorrow morning we'll have Mugen Train up. Monday will be I think I'm just gonna do a Welcome to Derry review this week. I'm not gonna do a reaction to it. But we're gonna do Monday will be it chapter 2, and then Tuesday will probably be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And then some more review. I'll probably have a review of Begonia coming up soon. Probably have a review of some other things that I saw. So that's what I got. Thank you guys for being here. Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Really appreciate you guys. And have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you very much. We shall see you soon.